Bill's guest tonight from the hit show Titus, Christopher Titus, actor and producer Balthazar Getty, actress Gail and syndicated columnist Betsy Hart.
What a crowd. Hey, it's the summer. No, we were just on vacation. Everyone's back from vacation, and everyone's talking about Harry Potter. Oh, gosh. Harry Potter. I mean, everyone in America, not here in the studio. But what a phenomenon. Are your kids reading this? It's, I'm telling you, it's the biggest book ever. Apparently, America loves a sequel about a snot-nosed kid who loves strong potions and magic powder, which is really good news for the Bush campaign. Oh, you know, I always kid the little Bush kid. He's running for president, and he actually made history today. He was the first Republican ever to address the NAACP, the National Association for Advancement of Colored People. I couldn't even say colored people unless it was in that title. And, of course, he was pandering to the blacks, trying to get their votes. You know, the usual claptrap about job training and urban renewal. And then he went into a whole rant about how come they wouldn't vote the black people off the reality shows. I thought that was... Which I noted the same thing on that show, so I have something in common with Bush. Anyway, now, over the weekend, bad news for the Pentagon. Did you see that? They had a big missile defense system test that failed, and, of course, the military always trying to spin this the best possible way. After all the troubles they had with Los Alamos, they said they finally came up with a technology that spies would have absolutely no interest in stealing. So thank you. And finally, a new survey was published in the paper today that said that teens are having less sex than they did a decade ago, which is partly due, of course, to the AIDS epidemic, and partly due, they say, to the naked fat guy on Survivor. All right. Let's meet our panel. She is thank you very much, columnist for the Scripps Howard News Service, and our friend, Betsy Hart. Where are you, Betsy? There you are. Hey. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. A talented actress and star of the TV movie Out of Sync on VH1 this Wednesday. Gail O'Grady is right over here. Yeah. Very talented. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. A fine actor, one of the swell stars of the upcoming movie Shadow Hours, Balthazar Getty is right over here. How are you? Nice to meet you. And the star of his very own show, Titus, Mondays at 8:30 on another network. He'll be at Montreal's Just for Laughs Festival all next week. Christopher Titus is right over here. Yes, he is there. Welcome back, sir. Thank you. Okay. Well, here it is, the Harry Potter book. It is the huge phenomenon, but it's a kid's book, and we're an adult show. Who gives a flying rat's ass about that? Let's talk about Big Brother.
I'm obsessed with Big Brother.
You're obsessed with it? You are all alone because it's tanking.
That's true, but I'm obsessed with the survival shows, the Big Brother shows. I can't help it. My wife can't stand it, but I'm just drawn to them.
Why? Because, you know, it looks like a bunch of boring, insipid, self-involved Americans cutting celery.
Exactly. I was raised where a guy got divorced 5 times. I had stepmoms and various sluts in and out of the house. My life was so much more fun than this. Just put a camera in my dad's house. Let's watch that for a couple of weeks. I'll tune into that.
Now that sounds good.
See, that's what I'm saying. You'd watch that, wouldn't it?
Well, my life is boring enough. I couldn't imagine tuning in to somebody's life. First of all, what lost me was the bathroom camera. Yeah, too much information.
Just the words bathroom camera lose me right there. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to tag out and move on.
Well, look, maybe that's why the show is tanking, because it's exactly all the things you said it is, whereas Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Survivor continue to be huge hits. At least there's some level of interest there.
It's also tanking because they don't edit it in an edgy way. They don't put music over it. They don't do all the things MTV does. We have a little
clip of this. I don't know what episode this is or if it's aired yet, but here is a bunch of people sitting around doing nothing, and they expect us to watch this. I mean, it's like How far do they think we will go?
I think we have to be concerned about Americans, given that the show is failing. I think we have to be concerned about the people who came up with the idea for this show and what they're going to be doing for their next job. But other than that, I wouldn't read too much into it about where America's headed just looking at that.
Well, frankly, if that show is this show without jokes. Don't give me the look.
I'm still
Don't give me the look, Bill.
I'm still.
See, well, he's sitting around doing nothing. All of a sudden, I get this. Oh God, that's such. Hey, we're entertaining though. It's one of those shows that you just watch it and it just sucks the life out of you like a vampire is what I think. And also, people say that because people say that oh well, it's a hit in Sweden. Well, you know what? Like I think
that's Sweden. Right. I mean, that says a lot about Sweden.
They have candies that you can't choke down in Sweden that are a hit in Sweden.
That's why they're Sweden and we're America because that show isn't working here, maybe.
But do you think it also might be because we have become so used to surveillance cameras, and when we see them revealing interesting things, a guy pissing in the coffee at the
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Some Korean grocer getting pistol whipped. I mean, that's interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Now, you put that on, I am right there. Right. I am all over that show.
And people do watch
I'll buy the T-shirt to that show.
Okay.
That's real TV. That's on real TV.
What do you mean?
The coffee pot thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean that show, not like that's good TV. I mean that's the show, real TV.
Right.
So,
pissing in a coffee pot, good. You're saying cameras in the bathroom pissing bad.
But they don't know. The guy with the coffee pot didn't know.
Right.
Now that's good.
And that's funny.
At home,
right.
you know that's here.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
So we should script some more of that stuff for the Big Brother show. Scripting some peeing in the coffee pots, maybe cooking bacon naked, something like that.
That would do it for you, huh? That would draw you in.
Have a show. Then I'm in.
That would draw you in. Okay.
Has anyone also gotten angry that this show, just the very name Big Brother, I mean, Big Brother refers to something that was truly nefarious in this world. I mean, there's a lot of people, especially in Europe, in this past century, the 20th century, remember that? Remember the 20th?
Oh, way back.
Yeah, way back in the 20th, who had to live with an intrusive camera in their life or a government that wanted to pry into their world. Right. And it wasn't funny. It's sort of like naming a show Concentration Camp.
Right, but these people are volunteering.
I'll switch the sitcom.
These people are volunteering to do it. I mean, it's not, they don't have a choice.
And, did you see the first one? A lot of them said, oh, it's so brave.
The best was when the girl walked in and saw the bathroom.
So
you
you're
see the first episode?
So you're watching it.
I am watching.
I
can't help it.
He's fascinated.
You sit through the whole
half
show?
an hour.
Yeah, but look, what made me laugh is like the one-legged guy goes, that black guy's a little bit kind of weird. And
you were watching.
And the black girl.
You were watching.
I was in the gym working out, and then I clicked it off. I turned it off. Listen up, Balthazar.
He said he was
never got to say that my whole life, but I wanted to.
Yeah, well, I watched it at first, too, to see what it was like, because it's a phenomenon I wanted to see, and it sucked. What can I say?
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, maybe one thing we can say is, 10 or 20 years ago, when the Cold War was alive and well, Big Brother might have had more of a connotation to it. Now, maybe in a way, people aren't getting ticked off because a lot of them forget that there was such a thing as Big Brother. This isn't such an issue for people Balthazar's age who are watching this. I mean, it's just these young people don't remember that.
Right.
So it's not offensive.
Do you watch his show?
I've seen his show, yeah. With his father apparently dead and in the bedroom.
But you're fascinated with this, where people are really not talented and doing nothing. But this one, where he's very talented, it's like, yeah, I've seen it.
Right. Yeah, basically.
Well, I mean, why do you say I'm not picking on you?
Ultimate voyeurism. I'm drawn to it. I can't explain it. It is boring, but it's a half an hour, and it's
my show or the Big Brother thing. Because we're going to throw right now.
Yeah, we'll have some reality TV right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm in.
Let's see it.
Okay, we got to take a break. We'll be back. All right, well, it's the summer, so I guess our Congress people have nothing better to do. So Phil Gramm, who's chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, wants to put Ronald Reagan on a coin, which, yeah, I had the same reaction. Oh.
Well, wait a minute, why do Why do we have this reaction? We have a history of honoring our greatest presidents and putting them on coins.
Dead.
But Graham is saying that in time they're thinking about it now for the future. Well, look, we have a history.
He wants it now.
No, he said that this might be difficult now, but he's willing to wait and think about it for the future. And
so you're saying when he kicks, it's all right?
I'm not saying that at all.
So here's what I got to say. Anybody who in 8 years burned through that much money should be on a coin. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
One of the reasons he and Congress, thank you, burned through that money is so they could fight and win the Cold War. And you know what? When I look at my little kids, that was a darn good investment. I'm glad they made it.
I'm okay with it. And
that's one of them, but that's
okay,
the point.
But I think they should put them on money, but I think they should just not put them on a specific denomination. They should put them on random money. Just every once in a while, he just pops up. Like on a quarter, and then a 5, and then what would happen is you'd forget, and then you remember him, then you forget to remember, you forget to remember him, which is a fitting legacy for the man, I think.
Like winning the lottery. Oh, you are so cruel.
No, you know what? I'll defend you because I've gotten in trouble for making the same joke.
What jokes?
And my defense is always, if we can put this sitting president's penis on the table, and when I say put it on the table...
We didn't do that. He did it.
He did, right. But then, yeah, he did. He wanted everyone to investigate his... Right. Okay. If we can put... If that can be fodder for discussion, I think the president's brain should also be fodder for discussion.
Excuse me, but one, he could help Bill Clinton. The other, Ronald Reagan, cannot help. And that is a fundamental difference. One was a moral choice, the other isn't. So don't give me any of this baloney.
Okay, well,
but look,
when Ronald Reagan
was...
Wait a second. When Ronald Reagan was in office, he was suffering from, because I was a comedian then, and you probably were.
Right, I remember,
we did jokes about Ronald Reagan.
It was a sad day when he left for comedians.
Right. But before we knew about Alzheimer's, we all did jokes about Reagan being, you know, very, very out of touch, shall we say. Okay, that to me is a lot more relevant in our president than where his penis is.
Look, it's out of touch gets us the things that Ronald Reagan got us, like changing the world by ending the Cold War.
You know what?
Why don't we put Bill Clinton's
penis
on
I want him on a corner on a bill.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I was thinking. Put Bill Clinton's penis on a corner.
Okay, at least it is. Let's compromise
Wait a second.
Let's compromise.
Wait. Let's hear this.
All right, good.
You say you want Bill Clinton's penis on a coin.
Yeah, for my generation. You put Reagan on a coin for her generation.
First icon of the new millennium. That's what I'm with him.
Hey.
I'm with him.
For a millennium coin?
Who has had more than tail?
Right. How do you put Lewinsky on one side and his penis on the other side?
You guys been sitting here this whole time trying to figure out how to bring up these words because this has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Let's examine Reagan's record. Let's put the difference. You know, in the new money and the new dollars, they have a picture of like the president or Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of Treasury. Don't know why he's on money. And there's a ghost picture of him in the background when you hold it to the light. I say we do Reagan and a ghost picture of Nancy, and then I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
I say let's get rid of Alexander Hamilton. He was the first Treasury Secretary, but he was a total statist. He's on the $10 bill. Get him off of that and put Reagan on. I think Reagan should be honored. He's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had.
First of all, you know who's on coins now? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, FDR, JFK, and Lincoln. Now, they're all dead. And as you know, except for JFK, they're all pretty distant. So we've had time to sort of, you know, assess. Do you think we've had that time with Reagan?
No. We need to start with a stamp.
You mean put him on a stamp first?
Put him on a stamp first. See how it does?
Let's put these people on
Well,
stamp.
why does he even deserve a stamp?
I'm not saying he does.
Oh,
Bill,
you're saying,
fine.
but
You know what?
if we were going to use Reagan, you say a stamp
Less of a
first.
commitment. You know.
We can assess his record.
Right.
I have no problem with saying we should wait until the time when he's gone, but I also think we should start getting ready and saying this is one of the greatest presidents. He changed the world, Bill, by ending the Cold War.
First of all, ending the Cold War
so the
is like the guy who hits the shot at the end of the
favor.
game, but somebody else scored 40 points during the game.
You're
it
right.
wasn't just Ronald
You're right.
Reagan.
It wasn't just Ronald Reagan.
It was the Marshall Plan. It was Harry Truman.
You're
It was
right.
Kennedy.
All
It was
those guys,
Eisenhower. All of them ended the Cold War.
All of them
He
had
hit
a
the
part
shot
in it.
at the buzzer.
But Bill, the
Good
difference
for him.
was, no, the difference was that the previous presidents, sure, and I say give all those guys their due.
And
the
that's
previous
great.
presidents, Bill, all decided that we would do containment or we would sort of coexist with the Soviets. We would have to figure out a way to get along with them. Ronald Reagan was the one guy who came along and said, that's not good enough. This is an evil regime and it has to go and we're going to make it go. He's fundamentally different.
We didn't make it go. It collapsed under its own weight. He came along at a good time for that.
You are such a revisionist.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Now, I do have to agree. I mean, you have to remember just 1 second. Remember when Jimmy Carter was president? Great man.
That's the name of Afghanistan.
Great man. We had the hostages, and Reagan came in, and, you know, I think when he was a kid, he didn't know what he wanted to be, an actor, president, or cowboy, and he became all three at once.
Right.
But he came in, and he actually basically said, he came in as a cowboy, and at that point in history, we needed a cowboy. We needed a guy to come in like that.
You're right.
And he scared the hell out of me, by the way. 3 years in, I was scared the hell to death of the man. But at that point, we needed him. And you look at some of the past other presidents. I mean, Alexander Hamilton wasn't even president. I mean, this is a guy who was like an original gangster. He went in and he had a gunfight with Aaron Burr, and he was the first drive-by victim, basically. I mean, none of these guys, you can actually tear up anybody's history. The problem is we're still talking about Reagan after all these years, and I think we're going to continue to talk for him. Maybe that's a measurement of a president.
Okay. You know, and in fact, the assessment of historians already is moving in his favor, and I think 50 years from now, Bill, it's going to be even more favorable than
in 50 years,
today.
I think this will be a good discussion.
So we can come back and have this discussion
I'll
again?
be 94, we'll have a good shot. I'll be right back. Okay.
Join us this week on Politically Incorrect when Bill's guests will include Everclear's frontman Hart ALEXAKIS, host of Later Cynthia Garrett, comedian David Brenner, and the legendary Pat Boone.
Okay. Speaking of presidents on currency, I'm sure you have all seen this ad of George Washington. We have a clip. You've all seen this a billion times, but it's George Washington, you know this ad, where he's, you know, scuba diving and he's dancing at a club. I hear you laughing. I know, it's funny. I hate that ad. Because you talk about revisionism. I mean, George Washington, I know people don't follow this anymore, but he truly was the father of our country, and he truly sacrificed, and he was a guy who endured and put up with stuff that nobody else would, and he could have been a monarch, and he denied that, and they characterizing him as a self-involved narcissist for this ad, and I think it's shameful.
I can have my kids watch this part of the show.
Well, you know, look, you don't have to dress up George Washington in a leather jacket, make him look like Fonzie to make me like money. Yeah. You know, and first of all, when I saw that, it freaked me out, because I thought, oh my God, Gene Hackman looks horrible. It just freaked me out the first time I saw it. They're bizarre ads, and I just think we shouldn't even, go ahead.
No.
We should put them on money. We should put, you know, I don't even want to have these old guys on money anyways, or you should put chicks on money, hot chicks on money, according to the denomination. Wait. According to denomination, on the one, Barbara Bush. On the, you know, on the one. First of all, it would economic boom for the country because you want to get rid of those babies, man. Then you go to a 10, you do like Anne Margaret because she's good looking, but she's kind of old, but you'd still do her, so she's on a 10. And then you put then you do like the $100,000 bill. You put like the hottest, nakedest chick on my wife. That's who you put on the $100,000. I love you, honey.
Good save there. Good save.
Yeah, good save.
You know, George Washington came back today and saw that. I think he would be so much more concerned about other things that were going on. That would be like the last thing I would think.
That's not the point.
That worried about it. But how can you be
kind of spooky too?
How can you be so upset about that, but not upset about what Bill Clinton put us through?
Bill Clinton didn't put us through it. Bill Clinton was doing something in the privacy of his windowless hallway. And people peeped in and looked at what he was doing and tried to hang him with that. That's what happened.
I really did like that intro you did about George Washington. I am really impressed. For a cynic like you to say those things, it's wonderful.
Oh, you don't know me as well as I know myself.
I guess so.
I have a much more important question. You'd still do Anne Margaret?
I knew the Sophia Loren thing. I knew it was going to come up. I knew.
Well, get real.
Well,
it's one thing to kiss your wife's ass, but Anne Margaret.
Come on.
You gotta.
She did that little move, man.
I know, but I mean, you gonna with a time machine?
Oh man!
Even the cameraman went.
You know, and back to this thing. First of all, when did the Treasury Department have an ad department? I mean, why are we advertising money? I mean, I remember when money used to just be about money.
That's the point. It's like when the post office advertises. I think it's a little bit unnecessary.
Well, you know, they found out that 100%.
So on those grounds, I'm with you.
Sorry, I got to do one myself. All right, Harry Potter, please, someone buy this book. Otherwise, tomorrow we have Harlan Williams, Heather Tom, George Stanford Brown, and Catherine.